me. Oh, this green screen. Hello everybody, it's Wee Claire here, of course, and welcome to a wee chat. This is your one-stop shop for all things talk show on Twitch. And it's been quite a while, quite a long time. The last time I think you saw us, it was Nick Apostolides from Resident Evil 4, the remake. Sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Nick Apostolides was here, everybody's favourite Resident Evil friend. He's been on the stream many times. Leon S. Kennedy. And the lovely Doug Cockle, good friend of mine as well, who is The Witcher. But tonight, it is all about community, because tonight we are celebrating 3 years being a partner on Twitch. And I can't believe we are here with the silly nonsense, because 3 years ago we didn't even have a WeChat, and now a WeChat is a live stage show at various Comic Cons around the world. Holy crap, thank you Wee Squad. Holy crap. And stay tuned, because right after this we're gonna bump. Guys, here's what's coming up. Tonight on a WeChat, we're celebrating 3 years as a partner by highlighting the amazing community. Yes, it's all about you, Wee Squad. Our first guest is the fantastic Waltiverse. He's stopping by to chat about streaming, creativity, and where he gets those fabulous pants. Rudy is back with another question in Say What. Soul Pilot returns to check in and tell us what's been cooking over at his studio in LA. And finally, our fantastic houseboat band, Mama Joe Ramajo, are providing the music. Hell yeah! Heck yeah! I'm very, very excited about that. But before we get to the guests, guys, it's been a while. Do you want a weekend reading? Spam out those emotes, because Tarot Cat's back.
My beautiful souls, this Tarot Cat here with your weekend reading. Remember, this is a general reading, so if it don't resonate with you, get out of here! Today's question is, should I go on vacation? Let's shuffle the deck. Okay, we got the Two of Pentacles. This jabroni's stuck. He don't know what he's doing, yo. Does he want this big-ass coin? That big-ass coin? I gotta let you know. They look like the same goddamn big-ass coins, bro. Just choose. We ain't got all summer, kid. Let's pull a clarification card. Okay, we got the Six of Swords. These guys are taking a boat and going somewhere good, but look at these swords in the boat. You ain't gonna go far with those swords, you fools. They're gonna sink that boat if you don't throw them overboard. So yeah, you're gonna go somewhere nice, but you gotta choose a place fast and plan it right. So that's what I got for you. Remember to follow, subscribe, and like and all that shit. Spirit says, yo, we out.
Okay, it looks like we're all going on vacation. Tarot Cat would like to send a message to the Wee Squad. Tarot Cat was very warm when they made that this afternoon. Tarot Cat does not recommend wearing a roll neck in a 30 centigrade. That's like about 100 in an apartment. Tarot Cat doesn't recommend that. Tarot Cat recommends that you hydrate. Okay, so that was Tarot Cat. Please follow me on YouTube for all the Tarot Cat goodness. That video is now on YouTube, so please go and do your thing. Thank you for all the well wishes, you guys, as well. Really, really appreciate it. I can't see any tips or anything like that until we get to the end of the show. Thank you, though, because I'm sure that they did go in. So thank you very, 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 very much. Yes, I think I got everything. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for the 3-year partnerversary well wishes as well. Guys, please keep doing your thing, because tonight it's all about community. We've already given to the community of the Wee Squad. Anything now above this tip now goes towards my local real life community. So I really appreciate it. Okay, guys. Everyone you see on this channel tonight is part of the community, or has been for the last 3 years. I'm very, very happy to welcome our next guest, Walt. But before we do, let's check out what he's all about.
Walt Walters here with a WV News special update. Local streamer has been canceled for referring to a viewer's mother as a hoe. You didn't just insinuate that I killed your pet rat, did you?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Listen, Leon.
I'll break your bones. You bastard!
I'm only one guy, Sean Connery. It's harder than it looks. That's what I told your mother last night.
I'm booking a big celeb for the finale.
Bigger than Sean Connery?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be on Dead Gary Live. It's Dead Gary Live.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, welcome to the show. What did your wife say when you told her you were invited to be on the show?
Lauren said, I think you should do it. I think it's great.
I love so much. Guys, please welcome the wonderful. It's the Waltiverse. Hey, Walt, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh my God, we did it!
We did it. We fixed the problems. We look at us.
Fucking did it!
We're streamers. We're streamers. We can stream.
Oh, God.
We're real streamers now.
Congratulations, by the way. Congrats on that.
Thank you,
Congrats on streaming.
Walt. Thank you, Walt. Now, Walt, we're just going to celebrate everything to do with you tonight. That's why you're here. Now,
Good. It's been a long time coming.
It's been ages since you've been on a WeChat. For those who don't know, Walt used to be in the WeChat, and we went on quite a journey, Walt.
We did.
We did. It was very strange. You went back in time and visited the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
You got kidnapped in a wood by Santa and some elves or something. I can't remember.
That was right. It was a whole plot.
There was a whole thing.
It was masterminded by the big man.
So, Walt, tell me, we met during pandemic-y type times,
That's right,
How
yeah.
did you find out about the Wii Squad? How did you find out about us?
You know what's crazy is actually I came in on a streamer that I was watching was doing one of the top 10 lists of all time. It was Guy Judge, the real Guy Judge.
Yes.
And I think he was doing something about his albums or whatever. And so he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be over here." And I was like, "Well, let me go check that out." And so when I came in and I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is the most fucking incredible stream I've ever seen in my life." Probably like everybody else when they come into the stream. And so it was like an immediate. It was like an immediate follow. I think it was like almost an immediate sub. It was probably exactly, I think I've been almost 2.5 years, my badge or something. It was probably exactly 3 years ago. Something like that, 2.5 years ago.
I like how, do you know what I like? When people come in, they either get it straight away or they're completely freaked out, which is actually
That's right.
which is what I really like. I love it. But it's the same with your, like, you when I went in, so you got to know us on stream, like in chat, and I was like, who's this Walt guy? Okay, I'm gonna go check you out. And I really like this kind of weird Waltiverse universe that you were kind of like creating. Was that your intention when you first started streaming?
Oh my God. Honestly, when I first started, I had envisioned, well, honestly, when I first started, I was on a PS4, so I can do shit. I had this idea, like when I was going to get my PC or whatever, I had this idea that maybe it would be like the kind of character that you would see that would like introduce a late night movie.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and he would be like an interdimensional being that was basically like all his potential selves had collapsed into this one individual. And then you would watch him take on all these various versions of himself across the universe. And that's why it was called the Waltiverse. And so I thought it would be like this thing, I'd be like in a little spaceship, but I would wear something like this because I was a big fan of like Doctor Who. And so I thought, oh yeah, I'll dress up, I'll be like this snazzy, like space traveling person that just does games and stuff. And And I had to learn a bunch of stuff about how to use a computer.
Oh, that's all of us, though. Well, that is
oh my
all
god,
of us.
yeah. Oh yeah. So it took a while for that to materialize, and then eventually I kind of gave up on the interdimensional stuff. And then I always really wanted to, because I thought immediately, I was like, this could be like a talk show. This could basically be like a talk show that one could produce themselves if they wanted. And so when I kind of like shifted into what it was going to be, I was like, that's what you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to like make the talk show. I'll make a background. It will be like the most absurd, like dumbest thing you've ever seen. That's all I try to do.
There's something really comforting and fun about watching a grown man in a bow tie playing horror games. I really like that because you're still like a dork, you know, and you're like, yeah, I've got like this. Just like I love it so much. It's so good. Yeah. But like I was talking to a friend about this the other day about creativity and what comes out of us when we are creative. And I learned a lot about myself through streaming. You know, as much as it's hard to stream and make content, like for example, things like Thirsty Tina. I was saying to a friend, Thirsty Tina, she might not be me. She is definitely part of me. And I didn't really realize that until she started to evolve and she was drawn out of me. And I was like, oh yeah, that really is kind of is me. And there's things, there's characters like Ed the potato, like the meatball heads. So for you on your stream, like what are the strange things? Thank you, Dahlia Wolf, for following Waltiverse. Thank you very much for following Waltiverse.
Turn that off.
No, don't turn it off. Don't turn it off. Keep it on. Everybody...
I have it on virtual camera, but I thought I silenced it.
No. No, I don't hear anything. I just see it. Guys, everybody follow Walt so it keeps going off.
I'm just promoting my OBS here on the stream. I'm happy to.
Go follow Walt right now, guys. Thank you. Hi, Taco. So are there any parts of you on stream where you thought, hey,
I'm gonna turn this, I gotta turn this off.
This
is absurd.
Thanks, guys, Hallie. Thanks, guys, Hallie, for following. Really appreciate you follow. Really appreciate that.
Oh my god, this is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing.
No, I love it. I love it so much. Please keep on.
Okay, fine.
Keep on.
What was your question? What was your fucking question?
God, Claire. What I wanted to ask was, you know, are there parts of you on stream that you didn't think existed, but they are part of you and they've come out? Thanks, Sawyer, for following. Thanks. Yes.
That's it. No, I'm just going. It's out. It's out.
Oh yeah, thanks very much. Thanks very much to Soy Sauce. Thank you, Sawyer, hubby. Thank you, hubby. So yeah, like that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, is there because I was surprised at myself, honestly. Well, I'm surprised. So that's kind of why streams surprise me. You know, when I think of the characters that come out, anything that's similar for you.
Yeah, I honestly the potatoes. Like I had this. Yeah, I've got this thing. I've got these like two potatoes. It started by just doing this like silly little innocent potato because I just thought it'd be fun. There was like Snapchat filter where you can turn yourself into one, and I was like, oh, that people called me potato all the time because of the way I play video games, and I was like, well, I'll just make myself a literal potato. And then I gave him like gave him one of those really obnoxious like like little kid voices or whatever. Anyway, I that was one that kind of surprised me because it ended up turning into this like really optimistic, kind of like sunshiny character, you know?
Is that you though, Walt? Because we had a conversation earlier on where we basically moaned about everything because we're old.
Yeah. I'm a grump. I'm a total grump. And so this character, I just find like whenever I do it, it just ends up being like everything gets turned into like the bright side of everything. Now I feel like I can see the bright side of some things. Not that it like changes my perspective, but but that was one that kind of that doing that character and having it come out, like I'm surprised sometimes that I can channel that sort of energy on the fly without having a script, without having someone give me the lines. You know what I mean? Like I'm always surprised that I can do it.
That's the thing that you know what? Like I was saying to you earlier when we were doing the test, I wouldn't do stand up if it wasn't for our stream. There's a lot of things that I wouldn't have done, and I realized like when I was doing my acting course earlier this year, I did like a very short acting course. The improv part of the acting course was the easiest thing that came to me because I was like, well, I've done stream, so I can
That's right.
And the only thing that fucked me up with that improv part of the class was other people, because other people couldn't. I was like, what's wrong with you people? Use your imagination.
Don't you get it?
Oh my god, like totally use your imaginations.
I am making magic up here.
I was like, oh my god, hi, F's in the chat, y'all. F's in the fucking chat. But that's the thing, look at that stream. I mean, when you think about it now and you look back in the last 3 years, or however long whenever you started streaming, like what kind of skills and things have you learned as a person, as a streamer? Because I've learned quite a lot.
Honestly, I think I've learned more so on the, I guess, community side of things, or I've had to learn, like in terms of creating, like, because I didn't really think about that stuff at when I started streaming. I just was attracted to kind of the performance aspect of it and being able to like do cool production stuff, and it's really just over, I kind of realized really quickly just how important community is, but I am not like that. I'm not that great at it. So like I had to learn like how to like invest in others and like build people up and kind of try to create things that draw people together. And I feel like I'm still learning that, honestly. I would say that's probably the biggest change, or like the biggest thing I've had to learn to develop. And I guess too, I guess the thing that's been surprising is like figuring out, I think because I'm being an actor, I'm always performing other people's scripts, right? Or I'm always like at the mercy of a director's concept. And so I trying to kind of fit myself generally into those pegs, right? And so creating this and having to kind of make stuff all the time and basically be the only person that's doing it. I didn't realize that there were things about me that I liked, or things that I would make. And that's another thing I've been sort of surprised by, is kind of like figuring out what I personally enjoy making and what comes out of me. And I've just realized, I guess I've been surprised about how stupid it is.
Which is wonderful, which is the best part. But that's very interesting you say that. I've got a lot of friends who are actors who, yes, they are completely awesome, very good at their jobs, and but it's about the director's vision. It's about slotting it, whether it be theatre or television, whatever it may be, even if it's voice acting. It's like, no, they have to slot into that. And I was speaking to a friend who said to me, it was a couple of nights ago, he was on the phone, and he's in quite a big video game, and he said, you know what? He's like, my biggest achievement is actually like being able to get my own line in my game. And I was like, that's cool, because he was like, because you're always told to do the lines and you're not, but he was like, I didn't feel my character would say that, so they let me change it for that one thing. And I thought that's really cool. But for me, I actually really like, when I did this acting course, I'm the opposite. I was like, I like having structure. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to be? Sad, happy, depressed? Am I someone who's cheated on someone? Am I someone who's messed someone over? Like and then you have to draw from that feeling. You're like, oh. And I loved that, because Sorry, go on.
No. I was just piggybacking on it, that, I was saying we did like a school show, and these kids were asking us questions about acting and all that stuff. And I was just saying, I remember telling them, that like, maybe it's because of the structure, right? That I feel like so much of my life is unstructured. Like the way my brain works, it feels like sometimes I have a difficult time like wrangling my own thoughts, my own self, you know?
Yeah. And
so being in theater, right, it provides this sort of safe structure that you can just fall into and use your imagination in, right? And so it's kind of the time in my life generally that I feel like the most free, that I feel like playing other people. I feel like the most me in a way, right? Because it's like I can sort of disappear into it. I'm completely relaxed, like all these people are here in this room, but I just feel completely at home in a weird kind of way. So I get that feeling.
Which is it's a nice feeling. But like, I know that when we went back, and we returned to normal life. I hate using those kind of words because I don't think anything returned to the way it was. But you went back to theatre, but now you're coming back. And you went back to the acting and things, which is amazing. But you've come back to stream recently because I didn't see you for a long time, and now you've come back to streaming a little bit more. So how did that feel going from COVID and then going back into theatre and live, and now coming back a little bit, creeping back into streaming again?
Oh man, it's been really weird. Theater was one of these things. I had done it for so long that it was like, it was like my job. It was like this. It'd be like, it's sort of like if you didn't do plumbing for like a year and you like went back, and it'd be like, oh yeah, right, all the elbow joints and stuff like that, And so it wasn't that strange. It wasn't that strange coming back to performing, right? I think what surprised me, I guess, was just like how much work I started to get when everything started to go back to normal. And then I just wasn't able to stream. I just couldn't, I just didn't have the time to do it. And then I ended up booking something like cross country. And I can't take the whole PC setup with me, like up to this, wherever they're lodging me, And so it became very clear that like I wasn't really going to be able to do stream in quite the same way. And so, yeah, that was weird. Like I was so gung ho about it, like I was just so plugged into streaming. It was like my whole sort of creative life and output. And then to suddenly just completely stop it.
Yeah, because you didn't do the slow transition. You actually just stopped.
I just stopped.
Yeah.
I remember like typing in my Discord, like in my hotel room on my way to this contract, just saying like, guys, I've just realized that I'm not going to be able to like do this way like for a long time, because I had booked a bunch of shows, and so that was the thing that was really weird, was like suddenly just being back in theater, but having this whole other life that I created that's just suddenly like off to the side in this weird way, right? Because like you're working and all the people you're working with are like right in front of you, and that's present. Like that's like life is hitting you right in the face, right? And stream was sort of like to the side a little bit, and that was weird. And then when things kind of calmed down after I got all that work, I realized that I missed. It was really the community, Like there were a bunch of stuff I didn't miss about it.
Yeah. Oh my god, we moaned about that this morning. Meanwhile, like two old boomer streamers.
Oh yeah.
Like making content for hours. It's so difficult. But I know what you're probably gonna say. It's like my change was gradual. So I didn't like quit straight away. It was just like, oh, I got this job, I got that job, I got this job, and then slowly, I've not been able to stream as much. But I'll never quit. I'll never quit stream, because truly, and this is the reason why I'm looking back on these 3 years, the Partnerversary, the community and the people mean a great deal to me, and human beings are so good and so important. And that's what, as much as I'm a grumpy bastard, and as much as I'd like to just lie in my pants with like a takeaway, watching like, YouTube tarot videos and just like not speak to anyone, because that's my spirit animal, just a lazy bastard watch. Like, we talked about this earlier, eating noodles in my underwear, just like, this is my life now.
Bliss.
I just really, I feel a great responsibility and connection and love towards the people who have given me a lot. So I'll never quit. I'll never quit that. But I know that people understand as well that we have to balance our lives. Is that how you feel now, looking back on your stream tenure, would you say?
Like that feeling like I have to balance, or feeling like it's important to balance?
Important to balance, I think.
Yeah, I think that I had certain goals for myself in terms of stream, and I know those goals didn't really materialize, but I did get like a small group of people, right, that like really just respond to what I do, like they respond to the thing that that I personally made, and through that, like I've made it, that's brought me kind of a sense of meaning, like I was, not to be like TMI or whatever, but I was talking to a therapist about this, right? And when I told them that I streamed, they were kind of blown away by it, right? I guess because it's just not a part of their world. So they're like, what is this? Wait, what is this? And I was telling them,
Yeah.
And they really helped put something in perspective for me, because they said, they were like, this is like gift, they're like, you have this small corner of the world, right? Where you create something and it brings other people joy, and it unites people, right? And it helps build relationships with other people, and you're responsible for that, right?
Yeah.
Like you contribute to that. And she's like, that's a gift. That's really that's a really meaningful thing. And I had, sometimes you get so focused on numbers and this, that, and the other, and it was really impactful to hear that. And I realized like that is kind of that's what I get from streaming that I don't really get from any other creative endeavor, theater, right? Because like I don't know those people. I come out at the end and they donate to the theater or whatever, and some of them stay after and they say hi, but I don't ever meet them again. But in streaming, like you form relationships with the people that you're engaging with, and they're like, oh my God, I love that thing that you made, right? I want to see more Tarot Cat, like.
Do you?
And
do you?
Yeah, I do. Oh my God, did you see me? By the way, did you see me when I was watching that while I was sitting
confused, and then
I was cracking up. Oh my God, whenever they would go into the weird
I always
love
think,
this,
how can I make people very fucking freaked out? That's what
I loved it. It felt like very Lynchian. I was cracking up. Anyway, but that's what I mean though, right? Like people feel like they have this small they have this place in the world. Like, honestly, like today when I was watching watching you when you had made the goal, and then you were talking about all the things that you were going to do. And I've been here like 2.5 years, and so like I'm watching these relationships like develop and strengthen over time, and I'm invested. Like almost the people in the community are almost like, they're like family in a way, right? And so watching you kind of be like, I'm gonna pay for your classes, I'm gonna give you a month of rent, it's like I don't know like the depths of your relationships with these people, but I do kind of grasp the significance and like all the time that's been invested, right, in these people being a part of the community. And that was like probably the most meaningful thing that I think I've ever like been a part of on Twitch, was like that moment, right? But that's a big deal. Like you don't really get, like, how many places do you get to do something like that? Just have that sort of investment, not just in the person who's making the content, but in the other people that you're sharing the content with, you're watching it with.
No, you don't. You don't, because everything I do is on a stage or whatever. And hey, I meet folks when I interview someone on a stage. I have met fans and people who have come up to me and said, "Oh, I love that," whatever. Or when I've done stand-up, I meet people afterwards. Sometimes they say they love it, whatever. But there's a layer, there's a difference about something that you do on Twitch. And regardless of how hard it is, I feel it's that whole kind of Spider-Man thing, with great power comes great responsibility. I do feel it.
Yeah.
And although I'm tired and it's very, very hard, and I think you feel this too now, I will never quit it completely, because I think if people really feel it in their souls, then I want to give that to them. And I feel a great responsibility towards that now, and I will not quit it. I can't do it as much, but I will never quit people. I'm there.
No.
I will never quit them. And it's the same.
I feel the same.
Even like having Kristen on Soul Pilot. You're people that have all touched me very, very much over the last few years. So I want to be able to promote what you do and talk about your acting, or talk about Kristen's stream, or I'm going to talk about Soul Pilot's music. And that's very important to me. So I think, especially in these times, we have to kind of look after each other, even if it's from afar. But hopefully, at some point when I'm an American, I'll get to meet you in person, you and your lovely partner. And I'll get
that would be great.
That would be bloody great. I'll have to come to your state. I won't dox you, but it's a state that I don't visit often. But I will absolutely try and fly over.
It's a state I'd rather not visit that often either, to be honest. I'd like to live somewhere else.
Well, maybe we can meet in like New York or something like that.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Yes, let's do that.
Because I want to do like a week of stand-up in New York, so maybe you and your partner can like come up.
Oh, that would be incredible.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
But Walt, what do you want to say to the Wee Squad and the people of Twitch before I let you go?
Oh, I just want to say thank you so much for being like the best community on Twitch and just being so welcoming. Like to me personally, I just have loved being a member of the community and getting to participate in all the different things and getting to experience like watching that Wii Squad video that you did. I hadn't seen it in a long time. And so I had total nostalgia, which is fucking wild that I have nostalgia watching this fucking We Are the Wii Squad. And so thank you very much for letting me, for all of you for letting me just be a part of it. And even this is an honor. When I saw Guy on the top 10 list, I was like, I want to be a guest on Claire's stream one day. That's like a goal. And so this has meant a lot to me.
Well, at one point, let's get you on the top 10 list of all the list shows, yeah?
That would be great. That'd be cool.
Okay, start thinking about your top 10 now.
I will.
When I come back from America mid-July, I'll message you.
Okay.
And we'll do it.
That sounds good.
Guys, everybody please go follow Walt because he's absolutely incredible. Thank you, Walt, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. It's
Bye.
Walt.
Bye.
We love him. We love Walt. We love Walt. Guys, hello Benson P. Hello everybody in the chat. Tonight is all about community. We've already paid for Stars and Spooks rent. We've paid for Soya's comedy course. We've paid for Cactus Nax's travel to the Wii Squad meetup. And we've contributed to Jen's bills. And now everything that's made above this tip goal goes towards my local community because tonight's theme is community, you guys. Community. It's all about giving back to the Wii Squad, and also giving back to the local community. Thank you to everybody. You've been incredible. And can we also say thank you to the mods, you guys? I'm going to say something later to the mods specifically. Thank you very much. Alrighty then. Well, that was Walt. It was absolutely incredible. And if you're not following Walt, then I really don't know what you're doing with your lives. Also, Soul Pilot, I'm really sorry, but we're running 10 minutes behind. I'm really, really sorry, Soul Pilot. Really sorry. But yeah, this has been great. Walt is incredible. I'm so glad that we found him. So thank you. Hold up. Like, I'm just really scared that we're... Oh, yeah, no, it's okay. I did studio mode for a second and we're good, guys. We're good. I'm professional. I'm a streamer. Sorry about this my old green screen disintegrated. Guys, can we please have love hearts in the chat for the mods? Please keep tipping. It's really important. I want to give to my local community as well. So guys, what you're doing tonight is incredible. So thank you very, very much. I am Bob Geldof tonight. I know, Kristen. All right. Okay, we've not seen him for quite a while actually, but it's time for the incredible Rudy in Say What?
Say what?
Heck yeah! Hi, Rudy. How are you doing?
Hi everybody. I'm good, Claire. I've been busy.
Oh, you've been busy. What have you been up to, Rudy?
Well, I've been working on becoming an influencer, Claire.
I remember you were dying to be an influencer. Okay, so is this about you leveling up? Because, I remember you wanted to get noticed by Resident Evil's Nicole Tompkins. But I want to say this to you, Rudy. I was giving it some thought over the last month. I don't know. I was thinking, I really don't know why you're trying to become an influencer because, you're trying to impress the ladies. But ladies, being a lady myself, aren't impressed by the number of followers you have. They're not.
Well, I mean, I've been working on my follows over the last few weeks, Claire, and I got over 50,000 subscribers on OnlyDears, and it's been going really great. I even even got a special message from Nicole.
So Nicole messaged you. All right. Okay. What did she say? What did she say?
Well, I mean, I got this sweet energy drinks deal. You remember?
Okay.
Maybe Daniel the elf. He hooked me up, and I'm now a brand ambassador with Drool.
Oh.
And the PRs with Drool got in touch with Nicole, and she sent me a message. And you know what? She said, "I'm gonna send you an autograph," and she said, "See you soon."
Oh, okay.
What about that?
Okay. See you soon. All right, Nicole. I'm gonna be messaging her later about this. All right, okay. So that's nice. All right, that's nice. So what else? What else happened?
So I'm gonna ask her out on a date, Claire. Which, it brings me to this week's question. It was for Soul Pilot, actually. He's on later, right?
He is on later. Okay, I'm intrigued. What was it you wanted to ask Soul Pilot?
Well, Soul Pilot, he seems like a smooth kind of guy. I watch his channel all the time, and I was wondering where he'd take a lovely lady like Nicole out on a date,
Oh, all right, okay. Well, I can ask him for you, Rudy, but I don't know. I reckon it would be better if you think of somewhere yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I reckon a cool guy like Soul Pilot would definitely know where to take the ladies.
Okay, well, I mean, sure, but as I said, Rudy, I can ask. I'm totally going to ask for you. But don't you think it would be best to think of somewhere yourself? Because, then it's like authentically you, and then it's like your whole vibe. Can't you think of somewhere nice to take Nicole?
I do like Arby's. They do a real good ranch in there. And I reckon Nicole is a ranch sauce kind of gal.
Okay. But I know I asked you to think of somewhere yourself, but do you really think that Arby's has the romantic ambiance that you're looking for?
Well, sure, Claire. What's more romantic than Arby's classic French dip and Swiss? It's European, Claire.
I mean, okay. Okay, just because it's Europe, I know it's called classic French dip and Swiss, but it doesn't mean it's European. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say?
Okay, or the Greek gyro. I don't know how to say that. That's European too.
Okay, the Greek gyro. Okay, Rudy, that's not European. I think it's just the name of the thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Aren't Europeans meant to be super romantic, Claire?
I mean, I'm a European and I'm pretty much a robot, so I wouldn't really say that all Europeans are romantic.
Well, that's it, Claire. I'll take Nicole to Arby's and I'll be European.
Okay, well, you can't just be European, Rudy.
Well, sure I can. We fly over Europe every Christmas, and I've got some dear pals in Germany. And in fact, my good buddy Hans, he'll be able to help me out.
Okay, well, if that's the case, do you still want me to ask Soul Pilot about the date thing?
Yeah, sure, Claire, but I don't think he's gonna come up with a better place than Arby's, and he's not European, but sure. Hey, Hans, it's me, Rudy. Yeah, Vegan my guy. You busy Saturday? I was thinking of coming over. Hey, sorry, Claire. Look, I gotta go.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll say hi to Hans for us. Thanks, Rudy.
Claire says hi. Yeah, he says hi.
Okay. Hello, und yeah, wie geht's, Hans? Thank you very much, Rudy. We'll see you soon. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Bye, Claire. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Rudy. Okay, that's Rudy, everyone. Guys, can we have Rudy's in the chat? Please, thank you very much. That's Rudy's in the chat. Thank you. Now, our next guest is incredible. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. I hope that Rudy finds what he's looking for. Rudy's in the chat. Our next guest is someone very special indeed, who has been on the stream many times playing Mario Kart, and has also been a guest on the show as well. He's absolutely brilliant. Before we introduce him, let's play this clip. It's the wonderful, it's Soul Pilot. Hi, Soul Pilot.
Hi, Claire. Congratulations. Happy partnerversary.
Thank you.
3 years. How's it going?
I'm feeling I'm a stream boomer. Positive.
Such a veteran.
I'm a veteran. And look, oh my God, like, look at you in your studio. You know what, Soul Pilot? I really miss that studio, standing in that studio. How's it been going for you? Like, how have the streams been going?
It's good. We're like a little bit of a hiatus with the band stuff while I'm in between jobs because if you're not aware, the guys I play with are pro musicians here in LA, and so I have to pay them, and I enjoy pay them because they're worth it. But when I'm not currently working, so I don't have the income to pay them. So I'm doing solo stuff. Been doing some writing. So you'll be surprised when you come to the studio again because I've hung more monitors up front, so they're not all like gonna fall over and stuff. Some more upgrades and things. So yeah, I'm excited for you to get out here and play around.
So, because it's the 3-year partnerversary, and for those who don't know Soul Pilot, we're going to get to know him tonight again. When did you stumble upon this strange, weird little stream, and what were your first thoughts when you
I was trying to remember. Because I figured you're going to ask me that since you were asking everyone else. So it was definitely through the plastics, but I can't remember the exact time. I don't remember where that sort of crossover interaction happened. If they had you on their talk show, I mean, I think I did, but I think I knew about you before then. So I'm sorry, I have terrible memory.
That's okay.
But it's been a couple years. This account hasn't been following for as long because I switched over to this account. Not whatever, it was back around Christmas or something. But yeah, my other account I think was on almost 2 years before I switched over.
So let's go back to COVID times because we're celebrating 3 years of the partnerversary, and of course, 3 years ago when I made partner, we were in the midst of lockdown all around the world. It was very, very strange. So explain to me, because I know that you've got, I had a real life, an IRL job. You've got an IRL job. But what brought you to Twitch? Was it the COVID stuff, or was it something else?
I was already watching Twitch on the video game side of things. Not like a bunch, but there were a couple streamers I was following because I was very into Borderlands 3 right before lockdown.
Nice.
And so I was watching streamers. I can't remember if they had drops or if it was just sort of like finding new places to farm things and stuff like that. But so then lockdown happened, and because I was sort of already on Twitch, and then of course there was like so much time to play video games because there was nothing to do but be locked down. But then I just sort of stumbled into the music side of things. It really was just sort of by accident, just sort of clicking around like, oh, what else is on Twitch? And it turns out there was the music community. I think about 3 clicks in, I found the Fantastic Plastics. Yeah. Just happened to be lucky that they were on that night, and just kind of spiraled from there. Some other really big streamers that I found right away too. It really it kickstarted my creativity and my drive to get back into playing and creating music and stuff, because it's, especially when I'm working something I don't have a ton of time to do. So yeah, it was a great time other than the lockdown COVID stuff, but it felt very sort of freeing and like anything is possible and let's explore and do fun stuff. And had different people that I play with now, but I had friends that live in the area that came over to sort of jam early on and stuff too. It was great. You know.
Do you know what? Like, I remember about that time you were talking about music discovery and being a musician and a music nerd. Like, I'm a music nerd as well. It feels like it reminded me of the time in the 90s, you know, where you just sort of stumble into the music scene, you know, and you move to a new city or whatever it may be, or you discover bands in your city. And that's what Twitch reminded me of during COVID. It was very much DIY. All musicians, artists, and bands had a very different setup. Some were very slick. Like, I think you've got quite a slick setup, and so do the Fantastic Plastics. Some people have, like, Mamajo Ramajo, weird, very strange, very DIY, and I love them, but that suits them. Like, do you think we've lost that a little bit now that we've come back into real life, or do you think there are still people there trying to hack away at the music stuff?
Yeah, maybe feels like it has slowed down a little bit. I don't know if that's more has to do with the fact that it's just something that's now been in my life or your life or whoever's life for longer, as opposed to sort of that initial discovery. But, you know, I agree with you in that sense of it sort of feeling like a moment where you're discovering a bunch of stuff. Like, to me, it reminded me of moving to LA and like opening the paper and like, hey, let's see what music's happening tonight. And it's just like, there's like 500 bands playing. And it sort of felt like that on Twitch. It just like kept clicking through. And I was like, whoa, these guys are doing country and these guys are doing originals. And these, you know, yeah, it had that feeling. I don't know if to me, it's not as much right now, but it's also probably just feel more sort of ingrained. And you know, I found your community, which is awesome to be a part of. So it's not quite as much sort of floating around anymore. Like, I feel it's a little more directed because there's people that I trust to sort of show me new things that they're finding. And if I find something new, I try to bring it up, but I'm not that great at discovering the new stuff.
But you know what I liked about the fact, so what I've liked in the last sort of year and a half was the fact that we found each other, lots of various people on Twitch, and then I got to meet you in September, and we actually got to play together in your studio, and that
was so fun.
Which was so fun. It was just so incredible. Like how did you feel? I never asked you this question. I'll talk about how I felt in a second, but I want to know what you felt. Because you came to pick me up from LAX, and you drove around for 2 hours whilst I went
pick
through.
up from hell.
Oh my God!
Luckily, it was beautiful outside, so it was just like windows down, stereo going.
Immigration every time, but it was 2 hours in that immigration queue. But how did you feel like when everyone came together? They were in your studio. They were playing the music, and you were on the keyboards, and you're looking at everybody. How did you feel, for real?
It was really, I mean, that was like a dream come true type of moment. Like, that was sort of my initial plan in building out this room as the studio. This was sort of more of a live practice room before lockdown happened, which was also great because you could have people over to jam, but turning it into the online thing took a lot of work and new gear and stuff like that. But that was the vision. It wasn't really supposed to be about me having a band or doing stuff like that, but a way for me to bring in like my friends who play bass and drums for me, ideally other musicians in the area, to bring them on and give them an opportunity to do their thing. And then I would be more of a support role. And so I loved it. That was like exactly what I wanted. And it was great because there's, you know, people who are much better at me at being up front and, you know, singing or performing. So yeah, it really is like sort of the ideal. It's just very hard to pull off, especially in a town where professional musicians are the ones that you want, but they, you know, you don't want to like shortchange them or ask them to do you a favor for free or something. Like, you want them to be professional and feel like they're professionals and that they're worth what they're doing, which they are.
You mentioned something about like you don't want to be up front, but you're the one heading your stream. You're Soul Pilot, you know.
I know, but that wasn't the plan initially. In fact, Soul Pilot initially was going to be a band name for like a Sting cover tribute type band. This was before lockdown. But when I came up with that name, that was the idea, and then it just sort of turned into the Twitch thing, and then it became me.
So then what for the future? Because like obviously you're like no, it's not about me, but like actually you are Soul Pilot, you know, you have to like step into that role. So going forward now, because now I don't really, I'm gonna be honest, I do see Twitch as important if you were streaming on Twitch COVID years and before, but maybe not as much if you just come to it now. It's hard to grow. But how do you see yourself going forward as a musician, as a creative person on this platform?
Look, I mean, I am embracing more of the like at least as far as the Soul Pilot thing on Twitch is concerned, it's me. So I've been sort of readjusting. It's kind of hard to tell with this camera angle, but I'm more set up to do like sit down at my keyboard streams, do some looping. Probably, I even have a way now to capture my Mac, which is where all the audio stuff happens. So I can do some like production streams while I'm doing some writing, sort of that kind of stuff. So yeah, you know, I am taking on the thing that it really should be me and not just like, hey, when the band's available, let's all play or whatever.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we were talking to Walt earlier as well about like community and like the things that surprise us about streaming. I think the thing about Twitch is it's all about community. Do you feel that yourself? Like as you've streamed over the last few years, do you feel like, yeah, I need to keep going because there's people that want to see me?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, the community is fantastic. Like they, you know, I'm sort of a shy-ish person. I mean, I can be sort of effusive like I am now, but generally I sort of keep to myself and am not someone who takes criticism and stuff easily. But the community is sort of like open and tells you what they want, and it's such a great way to sort of, it just leads you into new things, and it's always more fun that way as opposed to sort of internalizing it all and being like, well, here's what I'm trying to accomplish today, and it doesn't really matter if everyone else is enjoying it or not. Which is a little different. Like I grew up as a classical pianist, and that's way more internalized. Like it's just all about, I got to get this performance perfect, and it's like block out everything else.
Okay, but I'm gonna say this to you. Sorry to be a little bit hippie, but I am moving to LA, so I need to get in touch with my hippie side. But you're an Aries.
Yeah, dude,
you're an Aries. Yo, dude, you're like a total Aries. Like, so I don't really understand why you're like a total introvert, but you're like an Aries. So like, what's going on there? So like, cause you are an Aries. Do you ascribe to all that when you read about all that kind of stuff? You're from you live in LA now. Come on, you're a hippie now. Come on.
It's very hard to avoid. I'm not someone who ascribes to it a whole lot, but I'm certainly very aware of it. And yeah, I mean, if you need a better is that English explanation, perhaps it's because I'm on the cusp, so I have a little bit of Pisces in there. And I don't know. I mean, I think when I'm involved with something, I'm very Aries. Like, you know, I definitely am in control of what happens on my stream. Like the band is, I'm giving them stuff to learn, and you know, there's sort of a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes with the lights and the audio and all that stuff. Like I definitely like, I need to be in control of that stuff, which is a very Aries type thing, I think.
Okay. Well, Stars' books in the chat does astrology charts. So if you ever want yours done,
nice.
We can really get into we can get into the mind of Soul Pilot, which I'd like. Does
that mean everyone finds out how old I am, even though my mom's gray right now? Anyway, you could probably figure it out.
Let me guess how old you are. You don't have to say, but you can just say higher or lower. 44.
Higher.
Oh, really? Okay. 48.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
neither
not
higher nor
old.
lower.
What are you saying? That's not old. So, like, how do you feel? Because, hey, look, dude, I'm turning 40 this year. I know that's young, but it's kind of weirdly significant because it's a new decade. How do you feel about going towards the next decade? Tell me. Sell it to me, man. Sell it to me.
Definitely not as on my radar as like 30 and 40 were, I would say. I'm actually going to another friend's 50th birthday party tomorrow night at a roller skating rink. That's right, it's the adult roller skating party.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I don't, for me, doesn't feel like as much of a like check-in as I think 30 and 40 did. Maybe we'll see in a year and a half when it's way closer. But yeah, it's not that it doesn't feel like as big of a one right now as the other ones did for some reason.
I will be there because I'll be living in LA.
That's right.
And I'm going to be the most annoying friend you've ever had, my friend. I'm going to turn up with like a hat and a cake, like, happy 50th, let's go. I'm going to take you out. It's going to be great.
We're definitely having a party here. I don't know what it'll be on the actual birthday, but I'll do a thing here for sure. Well, at the house.
I'm going to have a thing for my 40th. I don't know what's going to be. I think it'll be a little bit after because I think I'm working on my 40th. It's very likely I will be working. But like that month, within the 4-week period, we'll have some kind of thing. And then a year or so later, we'll have a thing for you. And we can celebrate how much we have aged over this lifetime. Jesus Christ. But how do you, like, I was thinking about this recently and I was like, I feel it's more like a badge of honor now. I'm not scared about it anymore. I feel like I feel kind of happy about it because I've come through a lot of shit, and I'm very fucking happy about it. And yeah, I don't like the grey hairs. I have to dye it. Except, I really have to dye it. I don't like the grey hairs or the metabolism. But what would you say? The metabolism shit, mate. But what would you say to young Soul Pilot, young 25-year-old Soul Pilot? Because
goodness.
Well, because I look at you, you're sitting in a gorgeous studio in LA. You've got a great job. You've got, you stream. What would you say to your younger 25-year-old self?
Gosh, that's a good question. I mean, he wasn't in LA yet, so I'd probably tell him to get prepared to move to LA.
Yes.
And actually, see, I still would have been in college then, so I probably would have told him to pick a slightly different degree, but it'll still work out even if you're in the degree that you've got.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't really know. Probably go to therapy sooner. Maybe pick that up in like the mid 30s instead of like the early 40s.
Oh my God, 100. Hey, do you know what? Like I picked that up in my early 30s, I have to say. But do you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna say this to you. It doesn't really matter. I only had my breakthrough last week, and I've been doing it for about 8 years. And do you know what? I said something I'm not gonna say what I said because it'll give things away. But I said something to my therapist. Went, do you know what? I was thinking about this, blah 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 blah, and you were right. And she kind of went. She almost applauded. She went. Mm-hmm. Like she was,
nice.
It was so.
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, 8 years with you, bitch. Like she was like, thanks, shit. But you know what? That's the thing. I think therapy's good, but I don't know. Like I think the older and wiser we get, I don't think we really understand it until we get old. Would you agree with me?
Oh, for sure. Sometimes things that take a while to sink in, or you think you understand them and then you understand them maybe in a different way once you've gone through something. I mean, yeah, it's certainly not black and white, but yeah, so sort of, but it's sort of trying to think like taking on my insecurities or the tentativeness and the shyness and stuff like that. Like, that I could have used help with earlier on than I did, but and I was able to sort of hide behind music as a performer. So it was easier for me. Like if I'm on stage, I don't really have to be out there interacting with people. But eventually it came to the time where I'm doing a different job where it's like, oh, interacting with people is very important. So I should probably get better at that.
That's a very interesting thing that you've just said, because you talked about interacting with people. I'll say this to you and tell me what you think and what you would say to me. So when I was in my early 20s, I started playing music live, and I was a guitarist in various college bands, right?
Okay.
And it was great, and I did enjoy it, but I just had I was such an introvert. I had the worst stage fright. I just didn't. I really didn't enjoy it at all. But I really tried to push myself. I really, really did. But it's only in the last couple of years, and it's weirdly through Twitch, that I've discovered my voice. I've discovered how much I love performing, and it's pushed me to perform even more. Performing is a very strange thing, because I think it's something that you feel. Tell me if you feel the same as me. It's something that's like a burning feeling that you feel you need to do, but it's something that you don't want to do all the time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's that's again like it sort of ties into like why I always sort of like being in the background guy. So before I do what I do now in movie music, I was a performing like a touring keyboard player, which was like the perfect gigs. It's like, I mean, you have to do setup and stuff like that, which sucks. But the lead singer was always having to do like these radio interviews and get up early and go do this other press thing and whatever. But it was just great to be like, you know what? All I know is I wake up tonight, I get to make music with some awesome people. And then we're going to pack up, and tomorrow night we're going to go do it for somewhere else. And I didn't really have that pressure of like, I have to sell it, right? My only job with selling it was to play well, but I didn't have to be out there before the show or signing autographs or whatever. Which is, it's a lot more work than you think,
But do you think it's because we're older, though? I think sometimes when you're younger, you're fresh, you're you're wet behind the ears. And now, like, for example, okay, it's not music based, but recently Soya was there. It was a couple of weeks ago. I was doing a stand-up show, and I said to Soya was filming it for me, and I said to Soya, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care. I feel like I don't care. And I kind of went up with a persona of, I don't care. And like, it was the best thing I'd ever done. And I think it's because I was older and I just thought, what's the worst that's gonna happen here? For real.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna die? And even if I do die on stage, I will live to see tomorrow. Do you feel a little bit like that now with music? Do you feel like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, with some things like singing, like I never considered myself a singer, but as far as Twitch and stuff is concerned, I'm sort of like, you know what? I still have trouble going and listening to my VODs and stuff like that, but I'm like, it's fine. You know, I know it's not as great as I would like, but it's getting me to where I want to go to other places with music. You know, the other stuff, you know, I was performing from a very early age. I was doing classical recitals when I was like 6 and 7. So I never had like anxiety about performing. That was more like I was on that side where you said like you needed it. That was more of a way for me to communicate than actually like sitting in front of somebody and communicating with them. You know, a lot of therapy sort of related things are tied in there too.
I like that. I like music and therapy. You know what? If I come to LA, I'd love to develop, like, I mean, you can say no to this, but like a music and therapy show where we go, yeah, let's just talk about some of the things we need to work through and then play a song. Like,
sure.
So let's talk for 5 minutes about something that fucked us up, and then we can go, hey, so this is a Supertramp cover.
Nice. Yeah. Let's get out some of that anxiety right now. We're gonna jam our heads a little bit.
Exactly. But that's the thing, like, I find for me now, like somebody said to me recently, oh, when I see you playing music, that's pure Claire. I think that's the real you. And I was like, yeah, like for me, music's always been the real me, even if it's cringy, and I'm not the best singer, I'm not the best guitarist, but it exercises something in me. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a feeling. Mm-hmm. Do you still feel that after, because you're more accomplished than I am, but do you feel that after many years, yeah, like that's kind of come out of me?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's sort of part of the journey's not quite the right word, but it's something what I can come up with right now. But yeah, that's, you know, sort of seeking that out in, you know, when I'm streaming is like, hopefully there's going to be 1 or 2 songs that just really hit. You know, a lot of times it's the stuff that we've played more and more often than something new, but sometimes we just pull up a chart because we're sort of joking about a song, like, hey, maybe we should try that. And that's like super fun, even though it's messy, but you're like, hey, we can actually pull that song off. So yeah, I still definitely get a big rush out of performing. It's very different on Twitch because it is more casual, and like it's hard to get over the making mistakes is okay to some extent, especially coming from the classical world where it's like it's always gotta be perfect.
Yes, I feel that. I came from the flute playing world where everything has to be note perfect. So yeah, I feel that. But I was talking to.
But that's where that community comes in. Sorry to interrupt, but that community, like they, you know, I mean, especially early on, I remember when I was starting and I was singing and feeling very self-conscious about it. You know, the people in chat be like, no, go, you know, that big note's coming, go, or you know, they compliments afterwards or whatever it is. Like that one's a good in your range right there. Like that helps so much. Feeling like, okay, great. Now when I do that next time, I'm gonna feel good about it.
100%. You know what? When I come to LA, I'm going to come over to your studio and be the most annoying friend in LA. Soul Pilot's going to be like, oh my God, like I'm in my pajamas. I just want to hang out with my animals.
I'm always in my pajamas. I work from home.
So am I. Like, I'm business on top right now and I'm like casual on bottom. But like when I come to LA, I want to make some weird shit. Like, should we make some weird shit?
Totally. I'm into the weird shit. I did a couple weird shit streams. I should do some more of those.
Oh, what were your weird shit streams like before we go? Tell me about those.
So, you know, you can't really see them and I can't zoom the camera out right now, but there's like a little keyboard rack over here with like a Moog and another keyboard. So I'd like dial up something real weird on the Moog and put it on the arpeggiator or something like that, and then get like a real trippy guitar patch and play something over that. Maybe do a little pad on another keyboard that sits over there. It was, you know, I was trying to emulate one of my heroes' P-chops. It certainly was not at that level at all, but, you know, I was just trying to, you know, check out some harmonics and, you know, see where things went. I think I did a little piano on top of it too. It's been a minute.
Okay.
But it was fun.
Okay. So when we come over, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, we're gonna get really, really weird. Come over, I'll have a bottle of Cava, Prosecco, like, all right, okay, let's go.
Nice.
I'll come over in my pajamas, like, we're doing this, man. We're gonna have like a weird ass stream. We should do it. I think we should do it. Like,
totally.
I'm up for that.
Hell yeah.
For that. And 2 introverts trying to find themselves through
Right.
pajama streams. Guys, if you're not following Soul Pilot already, we've done a few shout outs on the stream. Thanks, mods.
Thanks, everybody.
Soul Pilot is one of the most wonderful human beings. Not only is he extremely talented and a very wonderful musician, he's actually an incredible human. And that's what counts most. So thank you very much to Soul Pilot.
Thank you for having me. Love you, Claire. Thank you. Congratulations on 3 years. Yay.
Oh my God, congratulations. I mean, I love you so much. And I can't wait to see you. And I will see you very soon. We'll see you soon, yeah?
Yeah. Bye.
Sure. Bye. Everyone say goodbye. Soul Pilot, man. I freaking, guys, let me remind you again tonight to please keep tipping. I'll tell you why we have to keep tipping. We've already paid for someone's rent, paid for someone's travel to the Wii Squad meetup, paid for someone's bills, and paid for a comedy course to increase skills. We're talking about now that we've made that, so we've given to the Wii Squad, we are now going to give to my community in real life, old folks, people that need food, all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to decide how to distribute it depending on how much we make. And the more we make, the more I can distribute it to different charities. So please, please, please keep doing the tips. And thank you for the subs, by the way. I do appreciate it, but I don't care. Forget about me. It's about this. I'm Bob Geldof. So please, exclamation mark tip in the chat. So thank you very, 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 very much. Guys, we are going to do Bump next. I do apologize to Jen, who's had to wait patiently as I guddle through the stream. It's been quite chaotic so far. But thank you very, very much to everybody so far that's been in this chat. A wee chat is one of my most favorite things to do. I absolutely love doing a wee chat. It's a wonderful thing. A wee chat has meant that we've had incredible guests on the show. We've had amazing community members, and we've been able to support really good musicians as well. And that's very important to me as a music person. Thank you. I am very, very appreciative of it. And also, because of your support of a wee chat, we've been able to go on the live stages of Insomnia Gaming Festival and GalaxyCon. Isn't that cool? And on Monday, I think it's Monday or the Monday after, we're going to post up the Doug Cockle, Stephanie Panicello wee chat at Insomnia. Wee Squad, you've given me, to quote Jeff Buckley, you've given me more than you'd ever know. So thank you very much. Sorry, I really butchered that. I really did butcher that. Thank you very much, Wee Squad. We're going to do like a quick BRB because I am absolutely dying. I need to go to the bathroom, and my cat came up to me and was like, Claire... thank you very much, Clubs, Axel, Gaz, Anne-Marie. You know I love you to bits. Lovely Soya, Beezy, and can I just say as well, thank you very much to Beezy, who is absolutely incredible. I love Beezy to bits, and Beezy is absolutely brilliant. Beezy checks on me now and again. I check on him. He's a very good friend. He's consistent. He's lovely. He's a good human, and a wee chat would not be possible, live or otherwise, on a stage or not, without the absolutely incredible Random Bizzle. Go follow him on YouTube. He is an absolutely incredible human being. So thank you very much, Beezy, for being here. Thank you very much for your time. Okay, everybody, we're gonna do a quick break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. You know which emotes to spam. Let's go.